Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tuesday. We're live. It's Crowcast, episode 98. How are we, Crow family? Hope you're all well. Hope you had a killer week. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Karen Clark, how are we? I can see you. Peter Griffiths, Simon Elias, Lee Evans, all the usual suspects are here. We are delighted to say that we have our guest, our first guest for a while, actually. It's the frontman of Canadian rockers, Monster Truck, Mr. John Harvey. He'll be joining us very shortly. Can't wait to get into that because we're on tour with him in 9 days. 9 days
It's
on
not long, mate. It's oh my god, it's just all creeping up, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It really is, but any comments, as always, any questions you got for John, let us know. Write them on the comments and we'll hand them over to him. But how are you, Rono?
Yeah, I'm really well. It's just basically what I said to you. It's just time is just flying at the moment. There's a lot going on in the camp. Great weekend with yourself as well, catching up with friends in the pub. It was nice to have another good old drink in Bridgend, in all fairness. Seen a lot of good faces, a lot of changes since I've last been there. It's mad, like all new little bars popping up here and there and stuff. Yeah, good weekend. Just tough one, innit? Sitting in a pub drinking solidly for a couple of days, like.
Well, you got your good pubs and then you got your not so good pubs, and it's those not so good pubs that literally send you to the bad place, the dark side. And then you're like, how the fuck did I get you? But no, it was a great night, man. I'm still sort of recovering. You can hear it in my voice, actually. Hello.
Yeah. They were long, like I said, long couple of days, but yeah, just great catching up with people. Some we haven't seen, which is mad to keep saying this. I bumped into a couple of people that night and I'd just be like, oh my God, I haven't seen you for years. And that is quite an old school expression. I haven't seen you for years, but literally haven't seen him for years because of everything that's gone on. And only now, like, some other people are starting to still come back out, like, or timing schedules, etc. And I haven't drunk in Bridgend properly, like, after a while, like, So yeah, it was nice to kind of have a look around the town, like you said, end up in some fucking dodgy old places, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, the fuck are we doing here? But but yeah, great nights, great memories made, and definitely feeling it on the Monday, like, so
Yeah.
back to it, back on the exercise, and looking forward to the Monster Truck. But yourself, did you recover well from it?
Yeah, man, it was great to like let your hair down, as little hair as we got, but it was banging, but I just, to be honest, it was great to like have a blowout, but there's so much going on right now in the Crow camp. Everybody, Crow family, not only got a wicked tour coming up very soon, but man, are we busy. Ronald, do you wanna inform them?
Yeah, I mean, first thing is there'll be no boys tonight. We do apologize. So we'll try and tell everybody after. If anybody jumps on and we haven't if anybody's talking in the chat room, where's Lloyd, where's Shiner, where's Dave? There's just so much going on. So they're busy doing bits and bobs in the background.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we're shooting a new video.
Indeed.
Which obviously means new video means new music, which is imminent. So yeah, so that's really exciting. So a new video tomorrow. Boys are in the background doing some bits and bobs as well. Because it's, as we said last week, the brand new album. You can pre-order it now. It's available now to pre-order. It's out in February. And this is the chaotic time that we love, because kind of there's always something to do in the background. There could be an idea when you're on a campaign. We'll talk to John about that as well, because like it's just a mad time when you're releasing a record, especially these days, because I find like somebody can come up with an idea and it's just so easy to kind of implement it or go off track or maybe create something which does create time then, as you said, Shane, which keeps you busy, like,
Yeah, totally. It's not my favorite part of the industry, like doing music videos and stuff, but what I am itching about is for you guys to hear the new song. I'm loving the fact that we've only recently just released something brand new, and we're going again. So that's incredible, and it's going to continue that way for a bit. So yeah, so even though the album's in February, you can pre-order it now, as Ron said. but there will be new music in the meantime. So yeah, just keep up to date, especially on our mailing list too. That's the first to know.
Well, yeah, mailing list. We said that last week. So join our mailing list, www.thosedamncrows.com/mailing list. And I think a lot of people knew that John was going to be on the show before it was actually announced on the socials. That was the plan. So I hope people got like an email. Check your junk and stuff, because you know how this game works. Sometimes it'll go straight to your spam and all of that vibe. So you got to make sure that you kind of open it up and accept it and stuff. But yeah, we're going to be trying to either use this platform or the mailing list to get more personal. Because like I said on last week's show, social media is great, but it fucking depends on like what people, you know, sometimes people are not seeing posts for 3-4 days, and that's irritating. They're like, oh my God, didn't know you had a new song out. And you're like, well, fucking hell, we've been spamming everybody for 3 days. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm putting it everywhere, but it's the algorithm. So with the mailing list, you get it straight to your email. You know what's going on, exclusive merch, tour news, new music, everything, you know, it'll all get sent to you. So at least you're right up to date with what's going on with the Crows. Like,
absolutely. Ooh, exciting times.
And speaking about that, I mean, something that wasn't sent out on the mailing list, but yet again, it's going to be an exclusive that we kept for Crowcast, is the new single "Wake Up," which was released. It's kind of gone a little bit with all the news going on and everything going on. It all went a bit quiet with the radios and stuff, and everybody wanted to be respectful for the Queen passing. But Planet Rock have put us on the A list. That went on the A list this morning. We were going to do a social post to thank everybody for getting behind the new track and everything. But yet again, we want to announce it on Crowcast, just to thank you personally, really. Yeah, look at that photo over there. You can tell we don't like doing photos. Fucking hate photos and videos. It's just all about the live, man. Just rocking out live. So, you know.
Yeah, it is. But big thanks to Planet Rock again for supporting us, putting us on our A list, and you guys, you know, as Ron said, all the support has been incredible on the first single. Can't wait to see your reaction on the second single. Yeah, that's what that's what I'm excited about. It's just seeing the evolution of the band and seeing how people sort of react to it. It may be good, it may be bad, who knows? But it's exciting, it's new, it's brilliant. Love it.
Me too, mate. Me too. Before we have John on, should we try something a bit different?
Yeah, let's do the shout outs now, is it? The Crow family?
Man. Yeah.
So B. Edwards, obviously, as Ron said earlier, we're probably not going to be on Crowcast next week because of the tour. That's really good to say, because we were chatting like before we come on here. Obviously we did this through lockdown, so that was the primary thing. But now it's like, yes, we're doing live shows again, and it's great. The Crowcast takes a little bit of a backseat for us to do what we're supposed to do, play live music. But obviously we're not playing next week. I'm not on Crowcast next week. So B has give us a message just saying, please can I ask for a happy anniversary for the better half on the 28th of September. It will be 26 years married, 28 together. And she said, yes, I know, he's a saint. That's amazing. Happy anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary.
8 days time.
It's mad, I know.
People are sending messages now to say a week before. That's incredible.
It's brilliant.
Jack Skinner has got in touch. Hey guys, can I ask for a shout out for Izzy, please? Distinction star for her final performing arts year, and now she's off to uni to carry on the greatness. So proud of her, and I know one day she'll be gracing the big screen. We are so giddy for the Monster Truck tour, following you from Cardiff to Sheffield to Nottingham. Cannot wait. Much love to you, and thank you for all the music. That's incredible. Well done, Izzy.
Well done, Izzy. Outstanding. Wow.
And we'll see you in Cardiff, Sheffield, and Nottingham. Outstanding. Happy birthday to the lovely Tanith Chown. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Tanith.
Happy birthday.
I'm sure she's abroad right now. So, yeah, some of the Crow family give her a message, say she was on Crowcast. Debbie Craft. Hi, guys. Can I ask you to give a shout out to my other half on Crowcast tonight? It's his birthday on Friday. His name is Wes Acton. Would be forever grateful if you could do this. Happy birthday, Wes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday for Friday. Have a great day, dude. King Clements, hey Crows, hope everyone is well and ready for the tour. Can I please have a massive shout out to my lovely daughter Lydia, who's 10 on Saturday. She's my little festival buddy, and it was amazing to have her on the barrier in front of Shiner at Stone Dead to see you guys. I was quite emotional. It was also my birthday yesterday, so I guess all the best ones are September babies, Shiner included. She says that she's got tickets for KK's and Cardiff, so I'll see you guys on the road. Much love to you all. Amazing. So happy birthday, Lydia. She's 10 on Saturday. And happy birthday to Kim. That was her birthday.
Happy birthday.
What did you say? Yesterday. Happy birthday yesterday. Sarah Beals. Hi, Shane. Can I put a belated birthday shout out in for one of my favorite Scousers, Steve Dunbar? His birthday was on the 15th of September. He and his lovely missus enabled me to not only get to Chepstow, but have a brilliant few days away. We met in the queue at the night train. Talk about Crow family. Much love from myself and Alan. Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday.
You've had a great day, bud. And that's all of the shout outs.
Outstanding. As Shane said, we won't be here next week for Crowcast. Keep an eye on the mailing list for when we'll be back. For everybody who's been messaging, we are working on some special stuff for Halloween as well, which will be pretty cool. And obviously we got that number creeping up as well, the 100th episode. So I think we're going to plan something mega for it all. But yes, like Shane said, it's great to take a back step. It's great to be touring with the boys next week. This is kicking off on the 29th of September. It's a low ticket alert, guys. So anybody watching tonight, if you're still thinking of coming, get your tickets before they run out. Starts on the 29th and ends on the 17th of October in Nottingham Rock City. Such a legendary venue that is, man. Can't wait. Can't wait. And to talk about the tour and all things Monster Truck and Crows, should we have a guest, mate?
Incredible. Crow family, please welcome frontman of Rockers Monster Truck, Mr. John Harvey.
Hey,
how are we, brother?
Great. Doing awesome. Having an awesome day. Just enjoying it. Maybe the last day of summer we get in Canada this year.
So where in Canada are you, bud?
It's about 27 degrees though right now, Celsius. So we get good weather, but this is the last one. We're just outside Toronto in Hamilton, Ontario.
Okay. Like I know where that is, but
I'll tell you where it is. Kind of. We dipped farther into the States than anyone else, basically. We're on that piece. If you look at a map of Canada, we're on like, I don't want to be rude, but it's the part that protrudes from the bottom of it. We're down on that part.
Sweet.
Did you get proper seasons out there, John?
We get all four. It's crazy. We have amazing weather here, and we get brutal winters and super hot summers. So let's hope that continues with all this, climate change and whatnot.
Yeah, man. Only because we have a lot of friends and family, like especially in our area, they always want to get out to you. And there's different areas. I heard somebody saying about Banff, and there's other areas, obviously, that they kind of want to get out, or they want to do work or buy a house out there. And they always say about the seasons as well, which I find really cool, because we get in Wales, we're very lucky to get a couple of weeks of sun, and then everybody moans, which is just like, fuck, okay. And then we get a bit of snow and the whole place shuts down. I mean a bit of snow, I mean like to you a dusting. It's literally a dusting of snow and everything shuts down.
We get a lot of snow. We get tons. We get it's a law that you have to change your tires in November to snow tires. It's like actually a law in Canada. Wow. I don't know if everywhere in Canada, but in Ontario it is. And a lot of places out west, it's snow chains, because you get driving in the mountains and you don't have snow chains on your car. Like, you're not going to make it.
Wow, man.
It's going to slide right off, man.
That's a better did you know than Dave does.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, wow.
Seriously. Well, it's pretty wild. We have such a huge country that A, it's impossible to tour, and B, it's just anything you want, any kind of wilderness experience you want, we got it. And it's pretty wild. Like, you can drive an hour north of, I live pretty much in the thick of the metropolis area, the most populated area of Canada, pretty much.
Yeah.
And if I drive 2 hours north, I'm in the wilderness. So
Oh,
it's,
wow.
it's pretty wild. There's not many people here, not at all.
So how many music venues are close to you?
Oh God. Well, I'm lucky. See, we live on this thing. I call it the 401 circuit,
Right.
and it's in Southern Ontario, which is like us and Hamilton, Toronto, the bigger towns, and there's lots of venues along there.
Right.
But like, we have a city of 1 million people, and we have, I think, 2 venues right now. It's really weird. It's hard to have venues in a lot of places, and then there's smaller cities than ours that have 3 or 4 venues. So, I guess it's kind of how it goes.
Wow, man. So no wonder you can't wait to play the UK.
Oh, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Even the 401 circuit, I call it. It's still a couple hour drive in between towns, where you have to go. But UK, so it's great. You can just kind of putter around and do your thing. Wake up in the morning, take your time. If we're playing here, we wake up in the morning. We're like, all right, we're driving 8 hours. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh man. But I'm assuming you're excited, bud. You can't wait for this tour as we are.
Absolutely. We love the UK. It's the best. I mean, we got to come back for download, but that was for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Should have booked some shows. I was kind of bummed. I was like, we stick around for a few more days, play a couple shows, but yeah, we can't wait. It's the best. I absolutely love coming to the UK. My father was actually an expat. My grandparents were born there. They lived just north of Portsmouth, like for most of their lives. So it's kind of like, you go to your grandmother's house and see all the English stuff, and then I actually got to go to England and see all these things. And, so first time I went, I was blown away. But now it's just like coming home almost. Like it feels comfortable.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because you guys, fair play, you do tour a lot over here as well. You know what I mean? And you do put in the miles as well, which is great. Because like some Canadian bands or American bands, for example, will come over, but then you might not see them for a long time or a year. They do it in that cycle or whatever, like, or maybe festival season. But in all fairness to you guys, it's because I know like you're over here for this and then you're popping back because you'll be down the road from us. You're playing in a festival called Rockstock as well, which is really cool because we're hoping to come down and see you down there. That's like literally 20 minutes down the road. Like,
yeah, we love it. I mean, we'll come back as many times as people really want us to come back. It's our second favorite market. I mean, we love the UK. We love playing Canada because it's close to home. We love playing the UK because the shows are it's great. Good crowds, good shows. People care about rock a little more. It's like, it's a different kind of thing, And we love going to mainland Europe because it's the same idea. But like in Canada, it's cool. You get it's good. Rock's cool, but it's there's no rock radio stations or anything like that. So it's kind of it's way better for us kind of over in the UK and trying to pump that market and get into because they play us, on Planet Rock and stations like that. So it just made a lot of sense for us to keep coming, which to my delight, I love going over. So it's great.
Is it something that's Go on, sorry, Shane Boy.
No, I was just going to say, you mentioned download. I was so happy to hear like we just went on before you, and then you guys went on and slayed it, and we were doing interviews and we were watching on the big screen, and like everyone was so buzzed because like it was a real insight to what the tour is going to be like, and we had so many people like, shit, that's going to be an incredible tour. That's like, because they'd literally seen a little glimpse of what it could be like. That worked out so well for us. That was amazing.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, but what a way to advertise a tour.
Exactly, man. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we had it was an awesome day. What a whirlwind that download is, eh? You play your set and they usher you off to the press tent, and you do your business, and then maybe you get catering. It's an awesome day, man. I had a blast. I got a tattoo after we played, after I'd finished all my 3 or whatever hours of press, and I got back and my friend's a tattooer. I'm like, you want to tattoo me? He's like, sure. So we went back and I got a tattoo for some reason in the dirty festival grounds, but it worked out great. Well, they had a booth set up in catering.
Yeah,
it was supposed. You guys probably saw it. It was supposed to be there, but like, yeah. So I missed Iron Maiden because I was getting a tattoo, but like, download,
What was the tattoo?
I got can you see it? I got this little devil on my hand. It's a little hot stuff. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, my friend John Parker did it from Portsmouth. So there you go.
Sweet.
It was a fun day. I think this whole this tour is going to be amazing, man. We're stoked. We have all of our we're totally down. Like our band is a machine now. We're finally back to being a machine. I mean, I felt that download. I still felt we were a little rusty. I was feeling a little, not fully back comfortable and everything else. It's a lot of people. And now I feel like we tuned it up, and now things are good.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with that. I can relate to that. I think all of us felt that with our set at Download. I to be honest, all the bands at Download were feeling that. It was such a big stage, and I had just come back from an injury. I was a little bit heavier than I needed to be. So yeah, I'm totally with you, bro. I wasn't firing on all cylinders, but we will be now on this.
Oh yeah, now it is. Yeah, after the summer playing gigs and stuff, it's been it's good. Yeah, we just had a new drummer too recently, and so it's been kind of an adjustment, just getting used to being a band again. Because the drummer is such a big part. I mean, it's the groove of the whole song, right? So it changed the way we play a lot. Like we're way more aggressive now, but it was cool, and at that point he was still new. So now that we're in the pocket, it feels great.
So did he audition for new drummers, or was it just like he tried out and he was brilliant, and then?
No, he's a friend of ours. He was actually did a side project with Jared's side project called Bear Taker. He was the drummer in that.
Right.
And he just rips, and he's always been around. He's been a friend of ours for years and years and years. And he was available. He's got like a career and a job and a family. And he told his job, he said, hey, I want to do this. Like, I really want to do this. And he has like this crazy sales job. Like, he does not need to do this for money. I mean, put it that way. He just does it because he loves to play drums, which is so enticing to me. But he basically told his job, he's like, hey, I got this opportunity. I can still work. And he does work in the mornings on tour. He'll wake up at 6 a.m. whatever time, work for 4 hours, and then get in the van and we'll go somewhere, or like the festival. He'll work before sound check and stuff like that. But yeah, he just wanted to play music for people. He's in like 3 or 4 bands. This guy's insane. He's in like 3 bands, and he's got like his family and his like career. So we got lucky, and he told his job that he was going to do it, and they're like, well, okay, we're trying something new with him, and I guess he's doing a good job because he's still in the band.
Did that happen like through COVID as well, the adjustment, or was it kind of after that? Or
I think it was just for Steve leaving, our drummer leaving?
that whole transition.
I think it was time. I think that COVID changed everybody in whatever way. Whatever that means, but it changed me like massively. But I just don't think it was working for him anymore. He's got a band that's kind of like Grateful Dead jam bandy kind of now, that's more up his ilk, and I just don't think he was happy in the truck anymore. So it was time to part ways. So fine, it's great. I mean, do what makes you happy, right? I only want people to be happy and do the right thing for themselves and their families. So it's like all good. No worries.
The thing is, it's better for the band as well. I think we've all been in bands where it becomes a bit stagnant. So if a member's not happy, or if you're not happy, it is the best thing, really, just to kind of switch it up, because like I said, it's such a crazy thing what we all do. And there's so many ups and downs. We talk about it all the time, really honestly, like, 1 minute you're on a super high, and then the next thing you can have like real bad shit luck, like, so the music's got to keep it going for you, because nothing else will. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be the love of playing to the fans, the love of the connection and everything, the buzz of writing new material. There's got to be something to hold you there. Otherwise it's just a crazy zoo, like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was kind of what it was for us. I mean, COVID, we took a lot of time because we weren't gonna tour, or we weren't gonna put out a record if we couldn't tour it. Like, we didn't have any label obligations at the time. So we're just like, forget it. Like, we love this record. Why would we put it out unless we can go on the road with it? Records don't serve so much of a purpose to us, except for a tool to like get the live show out there and have a reason to go on tour, which is what, our band is pretty much about. And so we just kind of chilled. And at the end of it, when we're like, oh shit, we can play again, we all like kind of like, okay, well, let's jam and stuff like that. And some people felt different, and some people felt the same way. And I think now we have a really good cohesive unit. Like I said, we're in the pocket, like everything's chugging along. But it was weird after COVID. I mean, I'm sure, like, for everybody, It's the way things like that have a way of impacting people in very life-changing ways.
Yeah, totally, bud. Totally.
We talk about that constantly. So Warriors, was that written during COVID and jammed during, or was it ready before COVID? Or
I think it was like after. I know it was after we recorded all of our bed tracks on it, but the song, the writing the whole record came here and there, but the Warriors song came after everything else came. So it's kind of funny. It was like the last song we wrote and it became the title track of the record. But most of that record was written a long time ago. Like right after we finished our previous record, I just started writing. And that's kind of what I do. I just like to write songs. Like I really enjoy it. So I spend my time doing it. Like, I don't know, I would say a good 50-60% of my chill time is spent with a guitar on. So I do a lot of work. People call it work. I just feel compelled to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So those songs are written over a long period of time, and I'll write like a ton of them, but we'll kind of cut them as we go. It's like, these 3 are really good. These 2, not so good. So we'll get rid of those, you know, and half the time I'll do it myself now because I kind of know who we are as a band now. You know, I know what Monster Truck sounds like. I know what Monster Truck, you know, represents. I know what it is. So it's really easy to cut the stuff that doesn't make it. But just constantly writing. So that record was like the Fuzz Mountain, I think, is like the 3rd track on it. I wrote that in like 2018. So
wow.
Yeah, always pumping them, just trying to figure it out where they fit. You know, and sometimes they don't fit with the record that you're working on, or sometimes, you know, and it's here and there, but like always trying to refine things and make songs better, because I don't know, it's kind of it's the only thing I like to do, you know, and with the lack of, at that point when we were doing this record, I mean, I wasn't working on any other bands or I wasn't doing anything else. So it was really like enveloping, like, you know, you could get right into it. So it was cool. Warriors was good, and the lyrics took forever in this record, because I was like, I can't be putting out records where the lyrics aren't like at least, you know, like I don't want to be thinking about them while I'm listening to them. I want to hear the story, but have it explained in a way that I don't have to fucking think.
Yes,
you know?
beautiful. Yeah,
and that's what I was trying to do with this, where it's like everything's got to have the right syllables, the right vowels, to make it feel like someone's just chatting with you. You know, so that took me forever, and I'm pretty sure I didn't nail it on every song, but I got a few of them.
Amazing, but it's interesting though, hearing you say about it's got to be the right fit for the album, because we've done it on this new album now. There's songs that didn't make it, and the songs are great. Like, they're really good. They just added to the library now, but they will fit another piece of work when when the shoe fits, man. It's mad, isn't it? You just know there's this feeling, a vibe.
Yeah, it's the way. I mean, usually halfway through a record, you kind of feel like what's going to work and what isn't. Usually after I hear the bed tracks, I can be like, okay, what's exciting? What is not exciting?
Yeah.
What about this is exciting? What is not exciting? And that's when that's when the majority of the cut right before pre-production, I'm like, all right,
yeah.
Let's pick 12 of these. Let's not take all 20 of these in. But yeah, it's true though. It's always good to have backups. It's always good to have stuff in the can. Like, we got a full acoustic record just sitting there because, you know, we did it and we didn't have proper time to release it. It was in the same thing where it wasn't under an umbrella of any kind of deal or contract or anything. So there it is. And one day it'll come out, and it spans the whole career of the band. So it's kind of a cool thing. You release it whenever. So we just added songs actually from Warriors to it. So it's kind of cool. It's that big catalog thing, I think, is the mantra right now in music, like for any genre, especially rock. I find that's all I hear from my manager. I don't want you guys make songs. And it's like, yeah, okay, no problem. You know, we'll get it. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But it's great. I love the fact that I get to do this. I get to just puke stuff out of my brain, and it kind of works. Some people like it, you know.
So what was what's the stuff you were listening to, Embad, as a kid? What was your earliest memory where music got its claws in you?
It's crazy. I grew up. My dad's really religious, so I grew up listening to Christian music.
Right.
But and it was only allowed to listen to Christian music. But the best thing about that was Christian music didn't really have a genre. It was just Christian. So there was like old school Christian hip hop that my dad liked, and like old Christian metal, and like all this other stuff. So I got exposed to like a wide variety of genres, and my dad was really big into classical music and jazz too. So just ridiculous. My father's a bit of a obsessive when it comes to record collecting. He's got like a store. I like to call it the store. You go down to the store and see what he's got. But he's got like, I don't know what he has now. I haven't been to his house in a while, but when he moved, he had 20,000. So it's like, that's a lot of records, Dad. Like, that's like 5 shelves. It's a wild basement, but he's got stuff that you can't find on like Apple Music and things like that. So anyways, immersed in music, like pretty much my whole life. My dad's a guitar player and a kind of a blues guy. And yeah, Christian music, it was it. So any day you could be listening to 3 different or 4 different genres of music just because it's what you could find. We had, it was super weird, but it was great. So by the time I was like in grade 5, like I was listening to Christian death metal and Christian, like all sorts of stuff, but it's all I could listen to was Christian. There's like crust punk bands and pop punk bands like MXPX and like bands like that were like really big for me in my teens. And then like, I would say around, I don't know, 11 or 12, I started listening. I had an next door neighbor who had an older brother, and we used to go to his house and watch Beavis and Butthead and listen to metal. And I started getting into like Life of Agony and White Zombie and Pantera. And then like things started getting a little bit more skid in my life. And it was awesome. I was super lucky to have so many different things to pull from. And it gave me a really eclectic taste now. Like my Apple Music is confusing probably to everybody. It's ridiculous. I look at it, I'm just like, I don't know. What am I going to listen to today? But that's what it's all about. So it was kind of like always being immersed. And church is funny too. It's like, I don't believe in any of that. I'm atheist and I'm apolitical and I don't, I have zero beliefs. That's where I like to sit. But the cool thing about going there was always music. I would have never started playing drums if it wasn't for playing at church. I would have never started playing bass guitar if it wasn't for, my friends who wanted to start punk bands when we were, when I was doing that stuff. So it kind of came around full circle. It's like a very, it seems weird, but it exposed me to so much music, like so much. I took drum lessons from my uncle was a jazz drummer at the church, and I took drum lessons from him. And then I played in a bunch of punk bands, and I started playing bass with my other friend. Took lessons from someone else that was involved with that. So it was it's a community. It's a community like anything else. But yeah, what a vibe. I mean, some of that stuff too. I will say that the all these genres I was exposed to in Christian music, I will say that none of them I would put at the top of that genre, like overall, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Weren't very good. I mean, when you have one single subject matter, it's hard to write that many songs.
Yeah. What was it like in school for you then, Bud? Was because myself and Ronnie went to the same school, so we've known each other since we were kids and stuff. And we had an incredible sort of influential music teacher, and he just let us jam and stuff. Was anything like that where you were growing up in school?
There was a lot of bands. I mean, my first band I was like 12 or something. For some reason in our area, all the high schools had like bands, and there was an indie label in our town that would sign all the high school bands, and it was like
cool.
They would go on tour and stuff. It was like a real thing. And
Wow.
there was a town right next to ours called Burlington, Ontario, which there's this massive screamo scene came out of around the time when I was like first starting to play in like metal and punk bands. You ever heard the band Silverstein?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Man.
them and like Grade. They all came from this town down like 10-minute drive. Our organ player, I was born there. But it was like this massive, like almost a worldwide scene in our town. So it was kind of like, I don't know, it was always music. Like we were always in bands. I got to the point where at the end of my high school years, I didn't even hang out at my school anymore. I just went to the school and hung out at my friend's school where all the bands, because all the bands went to this one school. I'm like, well, why do I hang out at my school? I should go hang out with my friends. So I stopped kind of going to school, which was dumb. I ended up graduating eventually, but yeah, it was just all about music all the time. I was really lucky. I don't know how. I always talk about my high school years like they were like magic, and some of them were like really were. It was super fun. I got really lucky and had a really cool class.
Yeah, you can definitely hear the way you're talking about it. So when was the first time, Bud, you penned your first song? How old were you? Can you remember the song?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I must have been like probably 15 or 16, like one that I can remember.
Yeah.
But I used to write all these punk songs, like pop punk songs. for my Christian pop punk band. This is a thing. And I used to write all those songs, or some of them anyways. Me and the guitar player at the time, we would write all the songs, and I was pretty young. I was like probably like 16, 17, you know? So it's been over 20 something years now.
Yeah. So when you're penning a Christian song, I'm assuming it's got to be about God. And so I just,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what other distinguishing point.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I know that sounds like a daft question, but for me, hearing a punk song talking about God, I've never heard that. That's really sort of like.
It was crazy too, and it was like there was some bands who were trying like not, but they were Christian bands, but they were like trying to not pigeonhole themselves with that stuff. So they'd write these metaphorical songs. It was really interesting. It was an interesting vibe, but there was some really heavy bands that came out like from that Christian era, like really heavy bands. It's like kind of like I remember taking death metal to my class. Like everyone was supposed to bring in a song in grade 5. I remember this vividly because the song I took was so weird. And the band was called Mortification, and it's like written like you would imagine. And it like I took it into class, right? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna mess these people up, you know. This is gonna be super fun. Like this is the heaviest stuff I've ever heard. Like this was like I don't even know what year it was. So I put it in, and I press play, and there's crickets on this recording for like 30 seconds. So I'm just standing at the front of the room silently, and these crickets are playing. And it gets to the point where my teacher's like, "Can you just like fast forward to the music?" And right when he said that, this like kicked in, and I'm like, "Yes." I was sitting in the front of the room, just like, "This is amazing." And like almost right away, he's like, "All right, enough," and I had to turn it off. But I was just like, that was one of those moments I will never ever forget. Like it's still vividly stamped in my brain the way my teacher looked. I remember his name because of this, and he's the only teacher I think in my grade school I remember. His name was Mr. House.
On sound check, you're gonna have to show us that. You're gonna have to recreate that.
I'll show you. It's you honestly be like, okay, I get it. Crickets. You know, this is the first song on their record. I have no idea why this band did this. It's absolutely preposterous, but it's literally cricket sounds for 30 to 45 seconds, and then
That's genius. I love it.
I think for 10 seconds it's genius. After like 35 seconds, you're like, man, what are these guys doing over there? Like, how many crickets are over there? They got a lot of crickets because there can't be one cricket going that long. It's gonna be tired. It's gonna have back crickets. They're tagging each other in.
That's funny. Brilliant. So it was always music, but was it? There was never anything planned for you for another career. It was always music driven.
Kind of. Yeah. I actually made a deal with my mom when I was like, forget it how old I was. I think I was like 23 or 24. I made a deal with my mom. I said, if I'm not in a touring band by the time I'm 30, I'll quit this shit. She goes, okay. And then Monster Truck did our first tour when I was 28. And I was like, well, by the time I was 30, I was ripping. So I'm just like, well, Mom, here we are. I think I'll do this for a little while, you know. But yeah, it was that, and I like to draw, so I always did illustration and things like that. So it's mostly that's it. It's the only things I like to do.
So anything you've done on your own sort of album artwork, or?
I don't do much for Monster Truck because I'm kind of like a punky illustrator, but I've done some things for some other bands and things like that, but it's mostly just for myself. I just like doing it. So I actually drew, I'm almost done. I have one more to do, but I've drawn the venues in 2 of our tours we've done in the UK of just like the smaller ones. When we do the smaller tours, I just draw the smaller venues. So I have like a book of all the fronts of these venues. It's pretty cool. It gives you a good like a bit of memory and stuff like that. So I'll show you guys. I'm gonna do it on this tour too. But I have this little sketchbook that I have that's just covered. It's just got UK venues all the way through it. Because they're the most interesting. Cool. I don't know. Joiners, that's a pain in the ass to draw. You ever try to draw the Joiners? I'll tell you right now. One of that building has so many things on it. Why so many things, England? All the buildings, so many things. Bricks, special brick ornament things.
Yeah.
Our buildings are all 150 years old, so they're like brutalist architecture everywhere. It's like super easy to draw. It's like a big square.
Brilliant.
So when it all kicked off for Monster Truck, what was that like, man? Was it like leaving your hometown, starting to hit the road? Was it was it kind of easy, as in like an easy, because we know bands that, I wouldn't say it's easy, but they've had more of a quick break. Do you know what I mean? So it was straight out in the road, straight onto tour buses, straight onto the state, or did you have to like proper hit the road, like Road Warriors and vans, and you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we did all the van. Like I said, we still do van tours. Like, and we're not proud. We just want to, do what makes sense economically and like mentally or mental health wise. We got to do the best thing. But for us, it was pretty. We toured, man. We toured our ass off. We went through the States a million times. We did like ridiculous tours. We did like, I think within the first 3 years of the band, we did like 8 weeks with Seven Dust in the States. And that was like the first time any of us had spent 8 weeks in the States ever. And we played everywhere, and it was wild. But like, yeah, we had to do it, and it got to the point. The only reason we ever went really to buses was because we started getting support tours, and then we had to like, okay, we did one support tour. We followed, we did support tour with Slash across Canada. It was one of our first tours, and it was crazy. We did it in a van. It wasn't,
Yeah.
Being a U-Haul, it's pretty nuts, and you don't have money at that point to spend to get hotels every night, and like, you're making $500 a show, if that, man. So it's all it's a losing money endeavor no matter what. So we spent years doing that, and then finally, the flip switched for a few years, and then COVID hit.
was Seven Dust the first major tour you did, or was?
The first one, well, pretty much. I think Slash North American was the first one we did. That was like, okay, dudes, like we better be good. Don't drink too much, which we did, and like don't fuck this up, basically. And get off stage quick, get on stage quick. We basically taught ourselves how to be a support band on the Slash tour. So we did Slash, and we did a bunch of like Buck Cherry, and we did a couple with. I forget what else we did. We did a few more support tours, like Canadian bands, and then we did 2 runs with Alice in Chains, and then straight from that, I think we went right into doing Alter Bridge for like ever. Then we went out with Nickelback and Deep Purple, and then it just like became like, holy shit, we're always in arenas, and we're always playing 30 minutes, and is this the best? Do you know what I mean? You're playing 30 minutes to the fucking diehards for whatever band you're supporting, and they don't care.
Well,
16-year-old Nickelback fans don't care about us. They're looking at us like, who are these weird guys?
I think the first time I seen you guys was I want to say 2018. I probably got it wrong. 2018. I think you were on the Blackstone Cherry Arena tour, and it was Cadillac 3. But that was you. I think you guys were on first, but you were my favorite band, like, you know what I mean? Because I was kind of like, wow, So there are people who turn up and you're like, fucking hell, this is wicked, like, you know what I mean? Smacked you straight in the face. But like you said, 29 minutes later, you're gone, and it's like, right, gotta check them out, like, do you know what I mean? So
yeah, they're easy tours, but they don't pay you any money, and there's too much time for partying. When you're first of 3 in an arena tour, I'm just gonna be honest, like, I've done a lot of that, and it gives you a lot of time to get into trouble, because you're at a party for 2 more bands.
Yeah,
in an arena, like, you would do whatever you want, and it's kind of it's a weird vibe. I almost prefer being like a direct supporter, like playing club shows, because I find it's easier to just be like, you have to find things to do. I find now when we play arena shows, though, I'm not much of a drinker anymore, so I just basically get off stage, have a glass of wine, I'm on the bus or back to the hotel or whatever the situation is, just because it's like, and you can't live like that. My brain gets so confused after 6 days of straight drinking, guys. It's not a good life anymore.
Yeah, man.
When I was 23, no problem. Let's party for a week, but I did all that already.
Yeah, and you obviously with the vocal as well, you have to look after that. You know what I mean? So,
oh man, that's the craziest part. But I find that the best thing for that, it doesn't really matter what's happening as long as I'm relaxed, and I ain't stressed out. Things are gonna go great. And
Yeah.
so that's the goal. Every day, wake up, don't get
You're
stressed.
absolutely fucking bang on there, bro. Like that is so important, and I've only recently found that out because I'm
Me
stressed
too.
all the time, man. It's like, and it's just no good. That throat tightens up, and every muscle in your fiber, every fiber in your being tightens up, and it's just like you cannot sing like that.
Oh yeah, I had a vocal coach a little while ago because I lost my voice twice. In 10 years, but they were close together. So on stage, you know what I mean? That's not a good situation. You got to look at those other guys and be like, oh, sorry, dudes. Not much I can do. It's my actual body.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after that, I was like, that's never happened to me. I'm never going to be embarrassed like that again. So I started doing vocal training, and that was my coach. She's like, you're tense all the time. He's like, you got to chill. So you got to chill. If you don't chill, it's not going to work. He's like, there's no way for you to make this work unless you relax. So I'm like, okay. And I started relaxing. So now when I start doing things, I just take a lot of deep breaths.
So is it just like crickets for 15 minutes? Relax it out.
Right? Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. I put that on loop. I actually made it way longer. That's my stage warm up, crickets. But yeah, it helped immensely. Like just learning that chill out, man. Don't get excited, because the more excited you get, the more things are just going to go off into left field. Sometimes you hit that note and you're like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
I don't even remember knowing that note. Did that come out of me? Did someone step on a cat? It's just brutal. But yeah, so the vocal training really, that was everything for me, and hydration. Once I started drinking like over 2 liters of water a day, everything changed for my voice.
Yeah. And you got an incredible voice, bro. Just saying. Absolutely incredible voice. Your range
happened by accident. I didn't even know I could sing till we started this band. So
really?
Yeah, I was mostly screaming and like, different stuff before. I kind of sang like blues songs and things, and like little folky things I'd write the kids in my family, my son and my niece. And then when this band started, I was doing the stoner band. It was kind of mixed between screaming and singing. And then we started this band, and I was like, I guess I should probably sing. And I was like, I guess I can. And then I was like, oh, I guess I can do this. Okay. And now that I've done lessons and understand how to move things up and down and how to actually control my voice box, it's a different story. But yeah, I wouldn't call myself a good singer at the beginning of the band. Sometimes I listen to our first couple records and I'm like, yeah, all right, good one. I'm glad they let that slide.
Wow, that's nuts, man. So you like started really late as the front guy then?
Way too late.
Wow.
Well, it was like, yeah. So I was probably like 28 when I really started singing. Oh, sorry about that. Now I'm 41. So yeah, it's only been like 13 years or so. I've actually just pounded in there. But and I only got like 6 more years of peak voice left. So yay. I wish I started when I was 20, man. I could have got a lot more years out of that.
Yay.
Well, really, I mean, when you think about it, you're like, it's a reality. Around 40, your eyes start going. Around 45, your voice starts changing. You lose that upper octave. You lose the things that you've been working on. So now I just try to stay diligent with like using it, as often as I can. Like get that upper octave in there. Do the warm-ups that include that octave, because that's what I don't want to lose. Which is a funny. I've heard both ways. I've had friends of mine say, I lost my. I'm losing my lower octave.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but everyone's different, so it's a really interesting thing. Aging, bullshit.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast about that the other day, and I think it was Eddie Bravo. He's like a jiu-jitsu guy, and he was basically saying that when you see like older dudes, say 65, and they're really super fit and etc., it's because they're, and especially like with yoga and stuff, which Shane has started doing, it's almost reminding your body that it can move in certain positions. Do you know what I mean? Because if you can kind of get to an age where you're like, fuck it, I don't need to move today, and that becomes more often, then it's almost like you've got to wake up those fucking areas. Do you know what I mean? That's
totally.
the way he was delivering it, and I was like, oh my god, that's great advice, because it's almost kind of like those movements within yoga or any exercise. It just almost kind of tells that part of your body, well, I'm still fucking using you, mate. I know I'm like 45, 50, you know what I mean? It just keeps telling that part to keep active. Don't go on me yet. You know,
I guess I do
hold
that to
on.
my voice. Hey, buddy, calm down. Let's just
Let's talk
take
about it.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, let's have a chat.
But it was a
and
really
me.
interesting podcast because he was almost saying that that is kind of your body where you're telling certain things. Yeah, I know we're getting a bit worn here, and I know time's
Mhm.
against us, but I still need you, elbow. I still
Yeah.
need you. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean? It's
totally.
like, yeah,
I do
man.
hard cardio before we go on tour. Like I'm probably I do like an hour on the elliptical, like most days I can, just to keep my heart rate down and my body active so I can chill out when I sing. So I
Yeah.
try to go as hard as I can, but keep my heart rate below 150. It's kind of it's taxing after a while, but like, you know, and of course there's times when you just want to give it and you're like, this sucks. I don't want to go that slow. But like to keep it that focused and stuff like that, I see how hard I can go and keep it like that has helped me huge. And then I get on stage and I'm like, well, I can sing whatever, you know what I mean? Because my lungs are the size of they're supposed to be and everything's pumping the right way. My heart's not going to give out because I've been using it. And so
Wow.
like I found that's recent. Like I started doing that last few tours because it's just I was halfway through the set. I'm doing an hour and a half. After an hour and a half, like 45 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? 45 minutes of high energy when the show's really good, you know, and that first wave hits you where you're like, oh, great. Here we go. Now I'm tired. And you're like, okay, how many songs left? Oh, there's 13 songs left. But like, you know, and that happens. Like I've had shows where I get out there and I like give it for the first 3 songs and then I'm wiped.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, we'll see how the rest of this goes. So, you know, now it's just trying to get myself to the point where I can just do it, you know, and not have to like, because when you're younger too, you don't give as much of a shit. Like you'll go out there and you'll crap up notes and you'll miss a few notes on your guitar. It doesn't matter as much because it's all about that moment and being young and blah, blah, blah. When you get to be like, you know, doing this for a long time, like we are, it's like, dude, like I can't screw that up. I can't miss that note. Like I've been, you know, and I can't be tired. I can't like, you know, let this become a mess. It's gotta be a show. So that changed everything for me. The cardio is just, it wasn't good before. Now it's great. So
Brilliant. So I missed the first part of that. Did you say you were running?
Oh, elliptical.
What's
I
that?
don't want to do running. It's like it's a machine that works your whole body at once. Do your arms and your legs. You look like an absolute tool, but it is great. And
Like a
it just
cross
works
trainer.
everything. Yeah, it's like a cross
Right,
trainer. I
right,
guess
right.
maybe that's what you guys call it. I know we
Yeah.
have different words for stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like a cross trainer, pretty much. Like a
like 2 pedals, and you kind of stand on the pedals, pull the arms. Is
yeah,
that?
and it looks kind of like you're riding half a bike or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I smash that for an hour, and that's enough. You know, if I can do that for an hour, that's good. You know, and then I feel like, okay, if I can do that for an hour 4 times a week, you know, I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to have a heart attack. I just want to be fit, you know?
But you purposely go in relatively slow.
Sometimes, like I like to go as hard as I can. Like I want to get as fast as I can while keeping my heart rate down.
Right.
So I just started doing it. I didn't hear anyone say that. I just know that when I get excited on stage, that I fuck up. And so if I can keep my heart rate from getting excited, I can stay on that vibe. You know, I still have to go back to my amp sometimes and go, you know, and like that's cool. You know, you got to take those breaths sometimes when it's too intense. But that's like, I don't know. It's like anything. You know, it's like when something's too good, you got to chill out and keep your composure, kind of thing. You know, like anyone would have to. But that's what I found works for me is just like not having to struggle.
Yeah, totally, man.
Because I was, I'll tell you.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, man, isn't it, from the front guy? Like I feel that all the time. But there's nothing better than it either. When it comes off, man, there's just this euphoria. It's just there's nothing like it, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like it's one of those vibes. It's you're there and you're singing and giving it your everything. You're putting it on a real emotionally taxing kind of thing. Whether you're feeling emotional or not, you're giving it. Like when you're singing like that, and going, that's whether you're putting any emotion into it or not. It's still that same thing happening, like you would be when you're like crying or anything else, because you have to make it. You know, you got to make it happen when you're singing it. So I always find that. After that, I'm just so exhausted. Like after a tour, man, I need like 3 days. Yeah, just give me 3 days of nothing.
Yeah,
you know? I'll take naps. I'll eat junk food. 3 days.
Yeah, we always talk about that, especially on Crowcast as well. There's a lot of bands, musos, or when they get home, they do need that couple of days just to kind of just realign themselves and to settle back as well. Like, do you know what I mean? So, I mean, for me, sometimes we've talked about it on you, especially with the families, it can be a real crash course in, you're back home, you're back out doing your food shopping, and you know what I mean? So it's kind of like you're straight back, like, oh, what the fuck is going on? But it is nice to have that kind of readjustment right, I'm off the road, because it is a mad old life, like I said, with the drive-in, venue to venue, the buzz, you're up, and then like you got to chill after that adrenaline has spiked, and then you go again the next day, like, you know, and then like you said, for 8 weeks you were on the road doing that as well, like, so it's like fucking, you know what I mean?
And listen, I'm glad we don't do tours like that anymore. We used to do so many super long ones. Be like, well, we're going to the UK, and then we're doing mainland Europe, and then we're flying directly to the States and doing 6 weeks there, and then you know you get home, you have a entirely different wardrobe.
Yeah,
You're just like, here we are. But yeah, those were the hard. And that's what I mean. Like even now, if I'm going away for a few shows, I'm coming home, and the day I come home, just don't. That's it. Nobody. No, you know, I'm not. My son's not coming over. No one. Nothing's happening. Okay. The next day we will sort things out. You know, because you need when you're beating yourself up like that, you need it. So I don't know. At least I do.
No, we do as well. But I call it decompressing. It's like, you know, if you're that astronaut, you need that time to come back into the real world, man. It's like that on tour, dude. The real world and the tour world, they are really emotionally, mentally completely different. You're almost you're not playing the real life card here. It's temporary. And everything is temporary. The place you play in, your bed, everything. It's a real mindfuck. So yeah, we're exactly the same. I'd imagine every band is. Yeah,
it's a crazy adjustment. I used to think coming home was so nuts because all I wanted to do when I came home was go out. It'd be like I'd have like 1 or 2 days at home, and I'm like, well, I guess we'll go to the bar, right? You know, and it's like, I don't do that anymore. Now I'm like, what do we got here? Yeah, TV. What can you offer me? But before it was, you know, let's go out and do something, because I was so used to moving all the time, you know, and it's wild now. And even when you go out for a few days, you come home and you're just like, holy shit, I'm tired. And it's like I used to do that for, like you said, forever and never ever come back. So it's an interesting vibe, though, you know, and that was my whole thing, was just trying not to get old. Now, trying everything in my power not to let my joints break down or my voice, you know, not remain where it should be. So it's you know, the struggle now is health, I guess, for everyone.
Yeah, totally, bro, totally. So this new album, Bud, you've got to be so proud of it. I mean, I absolutely love Golden Woman. I love Golden Woman. What a tune that is.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're super into it. I love it. I think it's our best album so far. I think it's the best songs I've written. And Golden Woman was great. Like that's just a song from my girlfriend. She's I love her. She's the best. Samara, she's my favorite. You'll meet her. She's coming on tour. She goes everywhere with me now.
We did meet her, bro, in Download.
Oh yeah, you met her at Download. That's right.
Yeah, man.
She was there. See, like I say, that day's a blur, so I don't remember anything. But yeah, it was written for her because during COVID and like even before that, we were together a little before that, and it was great. She's the reason I stopped abusing alcohol. So that's how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, man. Behind every good man, as they say, isn't it? Is a even better woman. Yeah, man. Totally.
Absolutely. So yeah, it was just a song out of that, and I love it. I was just trying to write a song that ripped as hard as I could, you know. And I wrote on like a first act 3/4 size guitar that my dad bought my son. So I was playing with it, and I wrote that riff. I was like, that riff's okay. I was like, that's pretty good. So I brought it home and I played it for Samara, my partner, and she's like, that riff's pretty cool. And I'm like, well, this song's about you. And I wrote the rest of the song. The rest is history.
Do you always write on the guitar, Bud? Is it always guitar, or does like a bass riff come and then?
Oh, it's usually always guitar. Yeah. And mostly acoustic or unplugged electric. I don't like hearing any kind of gain when I'm trying to figure out notes and things like that. Yeah. But lately it's just been on my unplugged 70s lawsuit copy Les Paul that I just love, and I got it for $300, and I drop good pickups in it, and I play it every day. Yeah. I got a few that I have a love affair with, but like they go in stages. So, but yeah, it's mostly just electric, and I have a a travel guitar, which you will also see on tour that I bring, and it's got a speaker built into it. It's a little pig nose. It's got a little pig nose amp in it.
Oh wow!
It sounds like a doom. It sounds like a doom guitar. It's like It's almost the same scale as an SG, and it's heavy. Like I just finished a record for my other project called Vicious Beast, and I used that guitar on every track.
Oh
we
wow!
just mic'd it, and it sounds sick. So you guys will see it. Check it out. It's pretty sweet. It's just a little. It can go anywhere with me, so I just take it with me on the plane, and it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait for and this was produced by Eric again. Eric Ratz, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you've worked with him before as well, haven't you?
We did Furiosity and Sitting Heavy with him. So he pretty much was the guy, and the Brown EP. So he's the guy that kind of came up with our sound. And we went with Dan Weller, actually, an English guy for Two Rockers.
Yeah.
And it was a little different than our sound. And, people didn't really want us to explore as much as we did. So, it's seriously like across the board. And then we were like, well, we wanted to do it. We wanted to see what we could do and where we were headed and how we felt. So to come back for Warriors, we were like, well, let's write monster truck songs, like stock, good, songs that sound like monster truck, and let's get Rasty to do it. And we got a hold of him. He's like, of course I'm doing it. He's like, I'd be surprised if I wasn't.
Yeah, he's wicked, man. Because when I seen he was doing the records, I obviously seen he done other records with you as well. Obviously, I know he's done like Billy Talent and Cancer Bats as well, which is they're a wicked band. I've caught loads of times when they come over here as well. A real badass band. So yeah, is that what we're expecting? Like that true traditional monster truck sound?
Yeah,
just loads of balls, big heavy riffs.
For sure. Too much guitar. That's what we always say. Oh, but it's a very guitar heavy mix, and that's the way it should be. I mean, we're a very, very guitar heavy band. So, yeah, it sounds like monster truck. I mean, I have full confidence saying that. Definitely, it sounds exactly like you would expect.
Yeah.
So I feel like we learned that the best way to make a representation of yourself is to be yourself. So I think this time we actually went in and said, okay, what do we want to do? Like, what do I want to hear? How do I want to stay true to what we've built? So this record, I think, does that for sure.
Sweet.
That's really cool.
So will you be playing any new stuff on the tour?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think
all of it.
We love it. I think we're playing like 5 or 6 from Warriors. Everything that's been released so far. Those 3 songs for sure. And then I think there's 3 more. So 6 in total, and then all the normal truck songs that
Sweet.
we must play.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, man, I'm just so buzzed about it, but I wish it was fucking this weekend, to be honest. I wish we were starting this weekend.
I know, right?
And is this the first time you've had a Welsh band with you?
No.
No?
We had was it Buffalo Killers? Or Buffalo Summer.
Buffalo Summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Buffalo Summer out with us so many, like 3 times. And this is like Shorts band, and also Perler, who's a couple of those guys' other band. Yeah, Buffalo Summer was out with us a few times, and yeah, it was great. It was always a good time. They were like one of the first bands we like became friends with, and across the pond. So it was, they're great guys. So.
They're really nice guys, man. And yeah, they just had a lot of shit luck, like a lot of bands, like, do you know what I mean? Just a lot of upsets and stuff. I don't know if you've kept in touch and stuff, but yeah, we try and keep in touch with a few of the boys. Just typical ups and downs, like I said before, of any band, like, so, but they're really cool. They live actually about 20 minutes down the road. That's the perfect thing with Wales, like you said. UK is everything is just so fucking close, like, do you know what I mean? So
you want to go smart, take a train. Here it's like take a train and get an Uber and get a bus.
Well, you're the first Canadian band we've played with, so
right on. Yeah. Well, it's going to be very I don't know. It's not. We're just nice guys that hang out and just there'll probably be some beer, probably be some joints. That's about all I can promise.
Dude, we knew that straight off the word go when we met you at Download, and honestly, bud, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we
thank you,
cannot wait
guys.
to meet up with you, bro, in
Yeah.
a couple of days' time.
All right. Well, have a good night. Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Wicked,
Thanks so
John.
much,
Catch
John.
you next week, man. Have a safe flight and we'll see you soon.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Cheers,
Cheers.
brother.
That was
Legend.
awesome. That was absolutely amazing and great of him to spend his time with us as well. Like, so
Yeah, man. You could just tell kind of the stories that'll come out, and sitting down having a pint.
absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And it kicks off 29th of September. It's just creeping up so quick, man. That's what me and Shane were on about. There's like everything has just kicked off our end. So it's like, oh my God, it is next week. Which is just mad to see. Like 29th, it kicks off in Dover, then down to Wolverhampton, Oxford, Manchester, Glasgow, Newcastle, Cambridge, London, Brighton, Cardiff, Sheffield, and Nottingham. So yeah, it's going to be a blast with the guys. You are right, first Canadian band we've played with, which is incredible. And their new album is sounding kick-ass as well.
Yeah, it really is, Ben. And I think, John there saying that he didn't start singing until he was 28 is like, what? Because my God, that guy can, I remember hearing him. It's one thing hearing him on record, isn't it? But you got to see someone live, like, and hearing him at Download, I was like, yes, there he is. It's the real deal. I love
man.
that.
And he's a busy guy all the time. I mean, they've done collabs as well, which I forgot to mention as well, with like Kid Rock, Iggy Pop. So they're just a hard-working band. And I think there's going to be, like you said, there's going to be a lot of stories where there's a lot what he said, but there we can kind of resonate with, like, do you know what I mean? So, and like I said, his experience is phenomenal. So,
yeah, you can just tell he's an old road hog, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's done it. Like, he's done the mileage. He knows what it takes, man. So, yeah,
actually,
can learn a lot on this.
It's the second Canadian band we've played with. The Wild.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, we played with down in Hangar 18.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
And I can't even remember when that was, 2017 to 18. But they were nice guys as well. I think we were supposed to do more with them as well. But yet again, the world went to shit, didn't it? Like, but really cool guys. Really cool guys. So yeah, second Canadian band.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we give something away?
Yeah, why not?
What's in this lyric? It's lyric time. Tell me the lyric. Give me the lyric. What's in this lyric? It's lyric time. What's the next line? What's the next line? What's the next line?
This week's prize, anything you want from our web store, go and have a look. That's if we got the sizes. But this week, same as last week, I'm going to give you a bit of a clue. This is off our brand new single, Wake Up. And the lyric is, taking a ride on the... taking a ride on the... What's the next line?
Well, while we wait, I'll give everybody a bit of a recap to the news that we said at the top, just in case anybody's tuned in late. So, like Shane just said, our brand new single, Wake Up, has been A-listed on Planet Rock Radio. That was today. We haven't put it up on the socials because we'll either be doing exclusives on Crowcast in the future, or you can join our brand new mailing list, which I think when we did the announcement for tonight's guest, Jon Harvey, we literally sent it to everybody on the mailing list first rather than the socials. So it's a great place to join. You'll get all the exclusive offers, tour dates, merch, everything will be sent there. And then, like I said, the track has gone onto the A list. There's no boys tonight on this part of the show, so we will be rounding up very shortly. Because everybody's just busy in the background, and all will be revealed in the next couple of weeks. Music video tomorrow. We did say that at the top, which was a spoiler, which means there is new music coming to you. I know we've just released a new single, but we'll have another one within the next couple of weeks. And that will all be available on our brand new album, Inhale Exhale, which is available to pre-order now. There's loads of bundles which you can get. I'll get a link up in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. What's the mailing list?
Loving that. Loving the purple. Loving the smoked version. And the yellow. I do like that yellow.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there's as always with Uric, there's multiple formats. And yeah, someone said actually, oh, you haven't signed. We will be signing
Yes.
vinyls and CDs. I think somebody put up, oh, I can't believe nothing is signed. Yes, we will be. We will be signing.
I can't find the link a second, but just go to www.thosedamncrows.com. Everything is on there. It's all in one place. And you can also get the record from Uric Records as well. It's available to pre-order now, like I said, and it's out in February. Because a couple of people were confused the other day. They bought the pre-order, but were wondering where all the songs were. It's a pre-order. So you can pre-order it now. And then it is out on February the 17th. And you'll have all the songs. But as they drop, obviously, Wake Up is available now. Yeah, as they drop, you will get the new tracks, so that is the good thing. Also, Crow Radio this week, guys, because I know these are like Dave's parts and stuff like that. Crow Radio this week is going to be Monster Truck's playlist. This is Monster Truck, so you can get a bit of a feel to the music that they're into. So we've got their playlist on our Spotify this week, just so you can get a feel for the kind of bands and music that they're into right now. So Crow Radio, our playlist this week is This is Monster Truck playlist. Have we got a winner, Shane?
Yes, we have, but there's quite a few comments here that I'm loving, to be fair. So the lyric was taking a ride on the, and David Earl has put dildo. Well done, David.
Yeah. Devil's Wigs.
Devil's Wigs was another one I was going to say. Alex Marsh, Magic Carpet Bride. That's brilliant. Andy Phillips, no, not Carousel, unfortunately. I try to see if there's any more. But yeah, so the line is taking a ride on the Devil's Wing, and lots of you had it, and that's amazing to hear because it's a brand new song. And the winner is Mr. Larry Jessett. Well done, Larry.
Well done, Larry.
Devil's Wing. So let us know what you want. Head on over to our website and our web store and tell us what garment you want and what size, and we will sort that out for you.
Yes, we will. So yeah, just to recap, loads to keep your eyes peeled. Please join our mailing list because you'll get the info first. So I'm not trying to push that. I'm just trying to give you the info in case people go, I didn't know about that. Join the mailing list. You'll be the first to hear about it moving forward. The boys, like I said, have been busy in the background, hence there's no tail end of the show tonight. So we will be back soon. And keep an eye on the socials for that because we're going on tour next week in Greenall.
Cannot wait.
Yeah. Well, normally at this point, I did like a one-liner shiner or anything, but I think it's just going to be hand it over to you and let's get ready for tour and making a video tomorrow and everything else we got going on.
Incredible. Crow family, this has been Crowcast episode 98 with John Harvey from Monster Truck. Thank you as always for the love and support. Have a fantastic week, guys. Make it a good one. We hope to see you, lots of you, at some of the venues on tour next week. Crows and Monster Truck. It's going to be amazing. But if you can't make it, no doubt we will catch you here sometime, same place, live at 9 on Crowcast, episode 99. Until then, Crow family, stay safe, look after each other. No star.